Hi, my name is Larry Kelly. I'm a clinical hypnotist and also the owner of the Texas Christian Hypnosis. What I'd like to do today is talk to you about what is hypnosis. Now, the first thing we need to do is understand kind of what the brain is. In the brain, you have two hemispheres. You have a hemisphere on the left and you have a hemisphere on the right. Now, the hemisphere on the left has to do with our uh, logical sense, our mathematics, our patterns of speech, where the hemisphere on the right has to do with our creative part. Now, in the center of these is a little thing that's known as a junction box. Now, we say a junction box just to kind of keep it a little bit simple. Now, um, whenever we have situations going on in our life, we have, uh, for instance, accidents that we might get a knock in the left side of the head. Now, we'll notice that you would have speech patterns that are now different because that is where our speech patterns is housed. Now, uh, on the right side is our creative side. That's where we do a lot of our talking to ourselves. For instance, have you ever had an argument with your boss or your wife or friends, and afterwards you start thinking, you know, maybe I should not have said that, or maybe I should not have done that. And that is our creative mind talking to us. Even like in road rage, you can have a situation where uh, where you're blocks down the road and you're still thinking about the road rage. You know, what you should have said, what you should not have said, what you should have done, what you should not have done. And uh, this is our logical, uh, creative mind talking to us. Now, uh, in between the two hemispheres, as I'd mentioned earlier, there's a little junction box. A little junction box similar to this, where during the days we have situations that rise and it blinks on and off, on and off, on and off. And that is our flight, fright, or freeze mechanisms. And in our fight mechanisms, whenever it goes up, down like this, it's going fight, flight, or freeze. Fight, flight, or freeze. And the flight or the fight is whenever we want to just physically or verbally fight the situation. The uh, flight is whenever we'd want to run away from the situations. And in our situations of the freeze, we just want to curl up in a ball and uh, hopefully it'll all go away. Now, throughout the day, like I said, this goes to the fight, flight, and freeze. And all of a sudden, something happens where it just expands totally like this. And it is packed up with steroids, cortisone, and electrical impulses getting shot into the body. Well, if there's not a way to reduce this, like this, then we are in the danger of basically blowing a fuse, so to speak. Like he's gotten on my last nerve. And with this, what we need to do is understand how we can decrease the flight, fight, or freeze mechanisms. Now, your body sends off cortisones and electrical impulses all the time, and they get stored up. For instance, this little toy here, it shows you that you have electricity stored up in your body. And that could not happen if there was not an electrical current coming around through your body. Now, what we need to do is figure out how to decrease the electrical impulses so we would not, per se, explode. Now, in normal life, if there is such thing as a normal life, it goes down on its own. But whenever it can't or it gets stuck in a large area, it's as though it's anxiety on steroids. Now, what we do what's called a non-content hypnosis session. That is, where we don't ask you, what do you think the problem is? Because in reality, you don't know. All you know is that you have a lot of anxiety. And in, per se, talk therapy, you can talk about what you feel is the problem is being the door. It might be the door hinges. It might be the doorknob. It might be the lock on the door. When in all actuality, it's been the window all the time. And what we do is we get to the root cause of the situation, all the negative in our body. We try to create a situation where you can reduce the negative impulse in the body, where you will not have the fight, flight, or freeze mechanisms going on. Now, what we'll do is in our situation, we don't ask you what the problem is. Like I said, it's content free. You and your mind know what the problem is. So what I would like to do is be able to help you understand that, help you get rid of the anxieties, the stress, and sort of like a snow globe. You can shake the snow globe up and you see all the snowflakes going around, and then they slowly start to dissipate and settle down and until things become clearer. It might not become clearer that day. It might be that week, that month, or that year, but it will calm down so you can see things clearly. And that's what I would like to do. I would like to help you see things clearly. Thank you.